Hey, what up, people? Welcome back to the MMA Breakdown here on Spreaker.com. And I'm going to read what Conor writes on his Facebook page 4 hours ago. And if you don't know, he said he wanted to retire from the sport. And there's a lot of legitimate reasons why. But he puts out this long-ass post. I'm just trying to do my job and fight here. I'm paid to fight. I'm not yet paid to promote. I have become lost in the game of promotion and forgot about the art of fighting. There comes a time when you need to stop handing out flyers and get paid to do the damn shop. And then he goes on to say 50 world tours, 200 press conferences, 1 million interviews, 2 million photo shoots, and at the end of it, I'm all left looking down the barrel of a lens that the UFC is making him do billions and billions of press conferences with stupid ass reporters. And some of these reporters don't even know MMA. CMNBC, like Money Talk. And the lady had really no clue who he was or Nate Diaz was. That's why Nate Diaz just got up and was like, dude, lady, I don't know who you are. I'm not talking money. And he got out of there. And Conor's saying it like it is. I'm sick and tired of just doing press conferences. Just imagine you doing a job interview for whatever job you're trying to get. And you have to be interviewed by 700 people, and they all ask you the same question. Yo, Jimmy, how would you be good for our company? And then you explain it to the first guy, then the second guy, then the third guy. Then after you start doing it repeatedly, it gets redundant, and you're just basically like a robot. I'm here to fight. I'm here to fuck somebody up. I'm here to beat you down. I'm going to hurt you. That's all it is. It's redundant. And I can see where Conor McGregor is getting frustrated, getting irritated. Nothing else was going through my mind. It is time to go back and live the life that got me this life. Sitting in a car on the way to some dumb press conference or to speak to Tim and Susie. Nobody knows who we are. Why would we go on some morning talk show and talk to people who don't know MMA? So basically, overall, Conor McGregor is saying he's in Iceland training, and he flew a lot of people out because he wants to get his cardio preparation going. He wants to get his timing down. He wants to get his game back on plan. And the reason why he lost is because he's doing so much media. And he goes, why would I want to go on Tim and Susie, who nobody knows who she is, and nobody knows who we are? They're just going to go out there and want a little soundbite to maybe get a raise. And Conor goes, well, I've been given raises for a lot of fighters. And it's true. Why go on some talk show that nobody knows who you are? That doesn't make any sense. And Dana White's like, you got to do all these talk shows. Yeah, maybe one or two of them might follow the game of MMA, but a lot of these people don't give a shit about you. They don't care who you are. All they're there is to make some money and talk to you and go, hey, how are you going to beat your opponent, Nate Diaz? And you're going to go, who's that? Who's Nate Diaz? And they're not going to know that Nate Diaz is a guy who flips you off, who talks a lot of trash. They're not going to know anything. They're just going to go, oh, it looks like you got guillotine choked. The lady has no clue what that is. My personal opinion, as an MMA fan, all I want the dude to do is show up. And I understand the media is part of the game. That's what a lot of fighters got burnt out. You had Nate Diaz, who doesn't like doing media. You had GSP, who said he was okay with it. You had Ronda Rousey saying she was okay with it. Though Ronda Rousey and Conor get so much media obligation from TV to radio to much more than they probably show on social media, and they get burnt out by it. You know, Conor says the best media outlet to go by is Ariel Helwani. I think what fighters should do is just go on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, do one podcast. That podcast can get like 1 million views because Joe Rogan gets a lot of attention, and he could promote his fight that way. You don't need to be doing a video shoot, a commercial, then photos, then having to go say, okay, you're going to do a radio talk show in California, then New Jersey, then Texas, then come back. It's like, you don't need to be doing that. And Conor saying, dude, I've already done over 2 million shows for you. I've always been there for you. You guys should give me a leeway this time. You guys should say, okay, we're chill. We'll let you slide, and we can use some old footage. That's what a lot of people do anyway. Online, they promote the fight by showing old footage. And Conor got more attention just by saying he's retired than the UFC would have by posting videos of him saying they're getting ready for UFC 200. Because you got to look at it this way, guys. The UFC embedded show, then the UFC countdown show, then the UFC press conferences. That is a lot to do for a man who just wants to get in there and fight. Conor wants to focus on fighting, not focus on he's the next latest and greatest promoter. You know, there's a difference between guys who promote and guys who fight. Guys like Nate and Nick Diaz, at least Nick Diaz, he's like, I don't care about this shit. I don't want to be on the camera. I just want to show up and fight. And that's what I think fighters should be focusing on. It's like, do you want to see Tom Brady? Oh, well, Tom Brady is going to have 50 interviews before he gets to the Super Bowl. No, you just want him to show up to the Super Bowl and perform to his best of his ability. That's what I want. I don't want to see Conor McGregor doing what he does and is losing his fights because he's focusing so much on these stupid interviews and he can't comprehend the fight. You know, that's what he's saying. He's saying, my mind was so focused on these stupid interviews and I lost focus of actually training. And that's what Ronda Rousey said. The media obligations were too much and it fucked her up where she lost her fight and lost her title. The same thing with Conor. He's saying he's getting burnt out by the interviews. And I completely understand where he's coming from. The dude put a full-hearted conversation up on his Facebook. You guys should check it out. And you should actually read the whole thing. He's saying it's sick and tiring doing shows and interviews with people who don't even know who the hell he is. They don't care if he's a billionaire fighter or just a piece of garbage on the street. They have no clue who this guy is. They don't know. They don't care. Their job is just to interview you. And if she says, how are you going to win this fight? And he's going to go, I'm going to double leg, take him down, grab Nate Diaz in an armbar, and break his arm. The lady's not going to know what that is. She's going to go, what's that? Because there was a interview with Dominic Cruz and Uriah Faber. And Uriah Faber was talking, and they were going back and forth. And
I'll say, as a
Dominic
hardcore MMA
all
fan,
you have Uriah
do
is
I
an overhand right
if Ronda
and
Rousey
and the guy interviewing him
or
was like
any
a
MMA
boxing
fighter
fan,
does a
and
press
he
conference?
actually said, he goes,
No, I
what's a
don't,
guillotine?
honestly. I care
That
less.
is how
you know what I care about
is
the
the
guy
interviewer
who signs the contract
does
goes
not
in there
know
and puts on a fight.
anything about the sport.
Do I care?
I would not
Randy
interview
Moss
fighters
or
if I didn't know anything about the
some
sport. But
football
I
player
love
goes out and
MMA.
plays
I
a
would love to
football
interview
game? Yeah,
fighters.
I want them to
That's
go
what I would
play.
love to do.
Like,
But I'm a
for
big
someone to come
Saints
to
fan.
what's a
Am I
guillotine?
going to
And
go
then
care?
they
Drew
showed
Brees
him
does 10
like a little
million
clip. He goes,
interviews
stupid
before
interview.
his
It's like,
next
that's
Sunday
a
night
guillotine,
football,
right?
No,
And it's like,
I want
he
him
had no
just to
clue what that
compete,
was.
and
He had
that's
no
all he should
idea.
do.
A guillotine
He
from
signed
an
up
armbar.
to play
So,
football.
let me know what
and
you
that's
guys
what he
think in the
should
comment
do.
section
It's like,
below.
And
You signed
I'll see
up
you guys
to
in
be
the
a
next
plumber,
one.
a doctor,
Bye-bye.
a lawyer, a pizza delivery boy. That's what your job is. Your job is not to go drive around and go to interviews. Hey, Jimmy, how's it feel to be a delivery boy? Oh, you like it? What kind of car do you drive? And then the next guy says the same thing, and it gets redundant. Like I said, Conor saying $400 million is what he wants, basically. That's what he deserves or something. But at the end of the day, I like Conor McGregor. I think what he's doing is right. He needs to do what he's doing. I have much respect. Good job for striking to what you believe in. That is what I believe. Conor's doing what he believes. He's saying this is what I believe, and this is not what should be happening. The UFC should cater to him and say, hey, okay, we're cool, we'll chill, we'll let you fight, we'll calm down the press conferences, because my thing is, you're just burning fighters out. At least the superstars. You don't have Joe Lozon. You don't have a lot of these guys doing press conferences over and over and over. And here's the thing about an MMA fighter. They have to do that UFC embedded show, so they have to be on camera for however long that is. Then they have to be on the countdown show, however long they film that. Then they have to do all this media where they talk to Ariel Helwani, they talk to all these guys, and it's repetitive. And that's why a lot of these guys say random weird questions, and that's why Ariel sometimes says really weird shit, because it gets them off their game. And Ariel Helwani today said he did 14 radio interviews which is nothing compared to what Conor does, and he was drained because it's the same shit over and over and over. You become like a robot. And I like I said, I would want to be, if I was ever an MMA fighter, I would hate the interview process. George St. Pierre said he didn't really mind it, and that's really probably what cracked him. They had him doing so much media obligation. But the more famous you are, the more media you got to do. If you're just a nobody Joe Smo fighter, you basically only do media when it's fight week, and you don't have to do interviews. Like, put it this way, Holly Holmes, for example, now that she lost her last fight and lost her title, they're not going to have her on TV anymore. They're not going to have her being tweeted all the time. They were talking to her just because she beat Ronda Rousey. So at the end of the day, the UFC needs to calm down on these dudes with thousands and thousands of media obligations and talking to people who don't even know nothing about the MMA world. It would be like me going to a hospital and talking like medical knowledge to some doctor. I wouldn't know what the hell is going on. He's talking about this procedure, that procedure. Eventually, I'd get bored. I'd be like, dude, I have no clue what you're talking about. I'm going to go. That's the same thing, like I said, it was the interview with Nate Diaz on Money Talk, I think it was called. Nate Diaz, literally, this guy, he took his microphone off and walked out. He said, I ain't going to do this shit. And Conor said the same thing. He goes, lady, I make more money than you. You don't even know who I am. And she goes, yeah, you're just a guy who gets in there and punches each other. See, that's the problem. Most of these people don't know who they are. They just know, okay, he's an athlete or something. I don't watch MMA. I just want to get the fighter who has the most attention, or the most athlete with the most attention, so I can get a lot of attention myself. That's all she wants. And doing it on like the morning talk shows, nobody watches this shit. You have like white old ladies watching like Oprah. They're not going to give a shit what Conor McGregor says. If you have them on SportsCenter, then the sports fan's going to care. But if you have on Tim and Susie early morning show, which I've never even heard of, is the white American old lady going to watch it and go, damn, I'm watching Conor McGregor whipping ass tonight. You're not going to have that. You're going to go, oh, that was 30 minutes or 20 minutes of a boring-ass interview. Because they're not wanting that. They're wanting what is on the regular program. They should say, if you're going to do like the Conor McGregor media, he should go on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. That would be more fucking exciting, because at least he could talk to Joe and they could shoot the shit like real dudes, and he could talk to him just like a real man, not just, well, how are you going to beat this guy? How much money are you making? Where are you flying from? That's the kind of bullshit they give him. Oh, it says here you're making $10 million. You're the best fighter. You talk a lot of trash. And they're just going to run down what it says on the paper. But at least Joe Rogan is going to talk to him as a man, because Joe Rogan knows how it is to be a fighter. He's always in the UFC. He's always doing the show. He's always there with the fighters. He sees when fighters are on their low, when they're at their high, and he can sympathize with that. That's where I think fighters should go, is like the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, and just shoot the shit for an hour. That's what they should do. But as always, thanks for listening, guys.